Whoops a daisy, I cut that slightly short. Evening, welcome to a live Friday Waffle. You know what? I'm going to be saying I've got my bloody cable caught. Hopefully you can hear me. Please tell me you can hear me all right. Yeah, you know it's one of the most difficult thing about doing a Friday Waffle every week. It's trying to come up with something witty in the description. I've done I don't know how many hundreds of these I've done. I've been doing it for I don't know how many 9 years. 9 times 50. I've done a lot. I've done a shitload of these things and just trying to come up with something, wanted to put in. But anyway, how are you? It's Friday, thank goodness. Excuse me. Yeah, it's bloody cold. I was out with the dogs just about 5 minutes ago, and you can definitely tell that winter is literally around the corner. Although saying that, we usually kind of get better weather in September, October, November. It's quite a bizarre thing. So anyway, listen, good evening everybody. Let's just have a quick look and see who we've got in tonight. We've got 13 so far, which is wonderful. We've got Mr. Delboy, we've got Mark whatever, we've got Mr. Gregory, we've got, we've got Mr. Flanagan, we've got Ox, and I thought I spotted Mr. Ian Cullen and 8-Bit Steve. I think that's us so far. Yeah, listen, thanks for joining me tonight. I've not got any agenda at all. Got no agenda at all. I've got anything gaming to talk about. I mean, I've got last week's questions, which I can kind of work through. But what have I been doing this week? I was actually playing a bit of my arcade cabinets. In fact, I'm going to ask a question to Mr. Cullen. Ian has got 3 arcade cabinets, I think you've got, Ian. How often do you actually play them? In fact, that's a question to everybody that's in the stream tonight. Any of you guys got arcade cabinets? How often do you actually use them? I've come to the conclusion that as you get older, you like to just evening, Carlo. You like to just what do you call it? Have things and you don't actually use them. I know that's. I was having a chat with Dale actually a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying the same. He's got a magnificent collection of a lot of tat, and he probably doesn't actually use half of the stuff. I think that's just something that happens when you get older. But the thing is, when I do put my main cab on, I love it. I really do love it. It's just the actual switching it on and starting to play it. So listen, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crack on with some questions. And if anyone's got anything at all that you want to ask me or anything, please just feel free to stick the question down below. Yeah, before I start, the reason I'm doing a live waffle tonight is I couldn't be arsed recording a pre-recorded one. It's infinitely easier doing these live because I can just talk, and I've kind of got you guys to kind of fire things my way. Sometimes it is difficult, and I've said this quite a few times. Sometimes it is difficult when you sit in front of a camera and you're like, right, what am I going to talk about tonight? It's fine if you've got loads of stuff to talk about, but when you start drying up, it does get a wee bit more difficult. So yeah, I've got questions there, and yeah, if there's anything at all you want to ask me, yeah, sorry, I was going to tell you why I was doing a Friday waffle live. A, it's easier, and secondly, I'm actually going on my holidays on Monday. I'm going down to that there London for a week. Going down on Monday, coming back on Saturday. Looking forward to it. It's the first kind of proper holiday I've had for quite a long time actually. So I'm looking forward to it. I do like London. I'm always glad to come home right enough. I wouldn't want to live there. Hang on, this is getting all tangled up. But yeah, London's a nice place. I've got lots of plans. We're going to do all the kind of touristy stuff. We're going to go to the Imperial War Museum. I'm also meeting one of the guys that's on my YouTube channel. I'm meeting him for lunch, I think. On what day is it? Thursday. The plan was to go to an arcade. There's this arcade. I don't know how far it is away. But yeah, apparently it's shut for 2 weeks. So there you go. The first holiday I've had in how many years? What did I say? It was 7 years, and the bloody place is shut for 2 weeks. So yeah, but looking forward to that. Going to do all the kind of touristy stuff. Yeah, so there won't be a Friday waffle next Friday because I'm not going to be here to record it, and I'm not doing it on my holidays. This coming Sunday, i.e., 2 days time, I'm going to be doing a usual live stream. It's going to be anything at all, anything goes. You pick a game, pick a system, whatever, and I will endeavour to play it badly, probably. Because I'm on holiday. I'm going to do an extra extended edition, so I think I'll start at. I can't. You know what? I've already put the thing out. I can't remember what time I put it at, but I think I'll probably run for 3 hours. We'll see how it goes. I won't have to kind of get away too early, although I am up fairly early on Monday morning. But it's a lot easier getting up early when it's like leisure rather than getting up for work. So yeah. Anyway, right, listen. What I'm going to do, if you've got any questions, guys, or anything, just you want to kind of have a wee chat about, please ping it down below. Right, excellent. There's one here. Oh, wait a wee minute. Hang on. Can I just say I want to extend my sorrow to 8-Bit Steve. He had a bit of a bad day when it came to gaming. I believe your Switch fell and smashed. That is never a good thing, Steve. Hopefully it's savable. Evening, Trevor. How are you, buddy? Right, let's have a wee look. Bum, bum, bum. Well, a minute, Dale, you've got a broken Nintendo 10 arcade machine. So is that one of these? Is that one of these? One of these ones where it had kind of like NES versions of games? I didn't know that. You've had that for 10 years. Oh no, sorry, I've read that. Yeah, it's called a Nintendo 10 arcade machine. and it's been like that. Well, you need to get your finger at your backside and get that fixed. I'm sure that's probably worth a fair bit of money. Interesting, yeah. Yeah, Ian's saying there's too many entertainment options these days, and it's absolutely true. It is. I think we're spoiled. We're absolutely spoiled for stuff to do. Think back in the 70s, you went out on your bike. Well, as a grown man, you wouldn't go on your bike, but as a kid in the 70s, you'd go on your bike, you would play with your Action Man, you would play with your $6 million man, you would play with your Evil Knievel, whatever. You'd climb trees, you would make rafts, you would play hide and seek, kick the can. What else? Dead Man's Fall. Does anybody remember Dead Man's Fall? Absolutely brilliant. I'd love to play that now, actually. Yeah, but we just made up our own entertainment, and then in the 80s, obviously, computers came along, and but so yeah, you had your computer, you could play, you could go out with your pals. What else? Obviously, TV. You had, well, what do we have in the 80s? I think Channel 4 came out early 80s. So yeah, we kind of had four channels, and that was the thing, because there was a limited number of channels. The chances are your pal or whoever it was would have watched the same thing as you. Saturday night there just wasn't the same choice that you've got now. That's a complete understatement. So you watched, I don't know, Dukes of Hazzard. Me and my dad loved the Dukes of Hazzard, especially Daisy. But anyway, what else did you have? Generation Game, It's a Knockout. Well, It's a Knockout was always Friday, I think. Although we can't talk about It's a Knockout for obvious reasons. Other stuff, yeah. So, Saturday night they might have got a movie or a film, and chances are your pals and you would probably watch the same film. You could talk about it. Now you go to somebody, you have a chat to somebody at work, and you're like, "What did you get up to last night?" "Oh, I watched such and such on Netflix. Have you seen it?" And you're like, "Nope." "We watched this. Have you seen that?" "Nope." And there's very, very little crossover. So you just don't have there's too much. As Ian said, there's far too much stuff. I mean, even, from a video games point of view, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's actually quite disgusting when I think of how many games and systems that I've got. And I don't really play them. But anyway, right, listen, I did see a question. I think it was Mr. Gregory asked, "Yep, Colin, there we go. What is your, is that the first question?" Yeah, I think it is. Apologies if I've missed you, but just pop your question down below. Yeah, Colin's asking, right, the first part's easy. What is my favourite C64 soundtrack? When you say soundtrack, Colin, I presume you mean SID tune. It is 1 billion% going to be Monty on the Run. It was the first SID tune that it blew me away. It really, I was going to say, opened my eyes, opened my ears as to just what a phenomenal thing the C64 was. From a sound point of view. I mean, there was evening, Mark. How are you, buddy? Well, mate, Lactobacillus Prime is in the channel. If you've not subscribed to Mark, please go and do so. Mark and I we've been talking for I don't know how many years, Mark, about getting together for another live stream. We've been talking about that for ages, and we really need to do it. Yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, Monty and the Run. I mean, before that, this is the thing. People going about how wonderful the SID chip is, and it is amazing. But it's like any instrument, unless you can play it, then it's crap. I mean, I've got an electric guitar and I can't play it. So, the SID chip back in the early days, it really was underused. I mean, a lot of the early kind of music, if you're going to call it that, it was based on classical music, and it usually used maybe one or two voices. It was quite frankly pish. And we never really thought anything of it. Then, in fact, I'm gonna backtrack a wee bit. The point where I realised that the SID chip was actually a musical instrument was when I got my CompuNet. It was a modem, and you had to run the cable. You had to unplug the phone, which always annoyed my mum and dad, and then I'd plug this modem in, Yeah, my mum would say, right, you've got half an hour. So I'll be going about, you know, oh my God, where's my phone? Where's my phone? We've become addicted to phones. Even back in the 80s, your mum wasn't overly happy if you had the phone unplugged, just in case of emergencies. So yeah, you plug this modem into the phone line, and I can't even remember how you went about it. I can't remember what command you used, but basically you used the C64 and you connected to what was called a CompuNet. To call it an early internet, well, I suppose it is. It was an early internet. You could kind of. It was, from what I can recall, and it was a long, long time ago. Um, it was just a series of like headings, and you would go into it, and it would like there'd be like it wasn't called a link, but you could like download. I don't even think download was a word. When did download become a word? I think that was probably after the kind of internet became a thing. But yeah, you could basically download a program, and I grabbed this thing called. It was by a guy called Graham Marsh, who is his kind of avatar name was the Mighty Bog, and he put out. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, wait a minute. I've just thought balls. Wait, I wonder if I can. I'm going to see if I can join. I don't want to cut this stream off, but it's just dawned on me. I've done this live stream using, what do you call it? Using Chrome, and I was having problems. It wasn't letting me play music. Just give me 2 seconds, and I'm going to see if I can get it working. But if not, what I could do, if I just close that down like so, I'm going to see if I can. Let's see if I can get this working. If I open up Chrome, I wonder if it will let me. Where the hell? Not Chrome, Edge. I always wondered what he did after he left YouTube. Right. StreamYard, let's give it a go. I don't know if it'll let me log in at the same time if I'm already in one. Let's give it a go. StreamYard, right. Enter Studio. I don't know how this is going to work. This could be an unmitigated disaster. Your browser can't. Right, okay. Right, tell you what, I'm going to be back in 2 ticks, honest gov. Ta-da! Right, hopefully you're still with me. Right, anyway, good, that worked. That worked well. Right, what I'm going to do, I want to let you see. Right, hopefully if I can get this working. Yeah, the Mighty Bog. Good evening, Croy SK. How are you, mate? Just give me one little second. Yeah, the Mighty Bog. He was an early musician, and his stuff, his music, just blew me away. What had gone before that was just shite, and this guy came along, and he basically put out these tunes which I listen to constantly. Just give me a little second. Emulator. Game base. Where are we? Right. Music, musicians, and I think it's under Bog. Bog. There he is. Right. There we go. Now, if I share the screen, just give me 1 second. Evening, man. Moments. How are you, buddy? Right. Want to share. Share screen. Hopefully, this is going to work like so. Right, hopefully you can see that. Yeah, this was one of the first tunes I've ever heard. Please let me know if you can hear this okay. You should be able to hear it. Can you guys hear that okay? Hopefully you can. So I'm trying to get this sound to come out. Sound settings. Right, that's better. Can you guys hear that okay? Yeah, hopefully you can. So yeah, that was the first tune that I heard for him. And then you had stuff like Big in Japan by Big in Japan. I would actually love to talk to that guy, but I don't know. From what I gather, I think he's kind of completely dropped off the scene completely. Let's have a wee look. Now, I think this was one of the few. It might have been the only one. He did very, very few commercial games. This was one of them. Dan Dare, Pilot of the Future. Quite a catchy little tune. Let's have a wee look. What other ones? Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Anyone? Now, you know, listen to that. That is excellent. That was 1985. I mean, that came out before Thing in the Spring. Why is that? That's strange. That is odd. Why is that? Were you getting some of the music? That is weird. That is bloody weird. Right, you know what? I'll try again. Just give me 2 ticks. All I did was change I just changed the sound so that it was coming out my headphones. Right, you know what? I had the same problem last time. Right, I'll fix this. Just give me a second. Desktop speakers. There we go. Right, you'll hear it now. Try again. Rule the World. Right, you can hear that now. That is weird. I really need to get to the bottom of that. I don't know what's going on there. But you know, this took the C64 from just being a thing for playing games to actually getting like real music. I mean, I used to sit and listen to this rather than listening to CDs, or not CDs, I didn't have CDs back in '85. It was, you know, I would sit and listen to synth music. I would play that constantly. Right, Dan Dare, yeah, sorry, that was that when I unplugged that. Right, this is Dan Dare. This was, I think, one of Mighty Bog's very few commercial releases. Did I ever play Twin Kingdom Valley, Stephen? I did. I'm not a fan of Text Adventures. I know I had graphics, and that was the only reason I played it briefly. But I didn't have I didn't really have the patience to kind of play these. Right, other favourites. Absolute classic by Marillion. Bit of Kaylee. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what's going on with that StreamYard. What's that, Trevor? Have you checked out the Barry Boomer demo? I haven't, no. What is that, Trevor? Is it a demo on the C64? I'll need to have a look for that, actually. Right, I'll play two more and then I'll stop it and I'll just crack on with some questions. Let me have a wee look. Another one I loved is What Is Love by Howard Jones. I mean, it's very, very simple, you know, compared to some of the technical wizardry that like Martin Galway and, you know, Geraint Toll and all these guys. It's simple, but this was a guy that came along and actually proved that the C64 could play music. Right, I'm going to play one more, and you've probably heard this a billion times, so I tend to play the same stuff. This is called Death, and this has got one of the eeriest sound effects you'll ever hear. This is called Death. Just imagine you're in a dark, haunted house and you're tiptoeing about and you can hear a noise upstairs and you've got this music playing. Coming up now. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hang on, that's changed. Hang on, that was Death version 2. Let me play Death, the original one. That wasn't the right sound effect. Coming up. Here we go. And take it away. No, coming up. Now. Listen to that noise. That is horrible. Right, anyway. Right, I'm going to move myself back over here again. I'm going to close that down. Yeah. Yeah, I'll need to look at that. I have no idea what's going on with there. Right, I can stop sharing that. Blank. Back to me again. Right, move over there and behave yourself. Right, anyway, yeah, so that was... where was I? What was I talking about again? I can't... Yeah, we're talking about... I don't know what we're talking about. I was talking about the CompuNet, so that was the first time. Yeah, I was talking about... Colin was asking what my favourite SID tune was. So, yeah, before, you know, the early games on the C64, it was just... Most of the music was bloody diabolical. Then the Mighty Bog came along and put out that album. He put out like 2 Bog albums, all this stuff, and that really opened my eyes as to just how the SID chip was a musical instrument. And then, of course, Rob Hubbard came along with Thing in a Spring, and yeah, whilst I wasn't a massive fan of Thing in a Spring per se, it's, you know, technically it's amazing, but I don't really like the tune. I'm not a big fan of the game either. But when I read the review of Monty on the Run in Zap magazine and I bought the game, you know, my jaw literally did hit the floor. I just thought it was astonishing. I mean, it's about, I don't know, it's about 6 minutes long. It never gets dull. It never repeats itself. I always kind of compare it It's like the Sid version of Bohemian Rhapsody. It is so good. It's just incredible. Right, I wish there was some better way of doing these comments because I can't really see where I'm meant to be. Let's have a wee look. Hang on a second. Oh, wait a minute. That's bloody weird. I didn't know that. This StreamYard thing, it only retains so many. It only retains so many comments. So some of the other comments have now disappeared. That's a bit bloody pants. Ah, that's rubbish. Anyway, right. Mark's asking me, would you download a car? You know what, Mark? It wouldn't surprise me if somebody told me 30 years ago that I would be able to download or send over the airwaves a C64 game or an arcade game, you wouldn't believe them. Right, there's a good question from Colin. Good evening, Colin. Thanks for tuning in tonight, mate. If you go to the arcade club, actually we're having me and a few mates, guys that all watch the channel, we're actually going down to Arcade Club on Saturday, the 27th of November. There's going to be a carload of us. I think there's going to be 5 of us going down. There may be a couple other guys that are going to be tying up with us when we get there. So there's going to be a bit of a meet-up anyway. I don't think any of us have actually met in real life. I've met one of the guys. No, 2 actually. In fact, 3. I'm talking shite. Yeah, but it's all people that just watch the channel, so it should be good fun. Going down on Saturday, say Saturday 27th of November. It's in Bury. If you can get along, I was going to say you're more than welcome. You know, of course you're more than welcome. But it'd be great to catch up with people. I was thinking of going to Blackpool, the Play Blackpool event, but to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know. It's all a wee bit samey, and I'd much rather go down to Arcade Club. Arcade Club, if you've never been to it, is one of the best things ever. Imagine the best arcade that you got in Blackpool, and then times it by 5, and you're kind of almost there. It's phenomenal. But then you've got to remember everything's on free play as well, so it's phenomenal. It's an amazing place. So yeah, 27th of November, we're all going down. If you go to Arcade Club, what would be the first game you would be making a beeline for? I suppose it depends what's there, but I think it would be Berserk or Track and Field. Yeah, that would be the first 2 probably, Colin. Hang on. That's annoying. That's annoyed me that it's actually cut out some of the the comments. That's weird. Oh, it's got to be Betty Rubble. Yeah, hands down Betty Rubble. Though I mean, Wilma was a bit of a cheeky one, but nah, definitely Betty Rubble. That one definitely, man. Yeah. Well, there is that, I suppose, Dale. Yeah. Yep. Mr. Cullen agrees with me. Yep. Not that you've thought about it. Well, I noticed it took you half a second to make your mind up. What about Bugs Bunny dressed as a girl bunny? Well, you never know. Right, where are we? I was recommended the Scottish guys on the roof meme alongside this. Scottish guy on the roof. I don't know what that was. Yeah, so Trevor's asking about. I'll need to have a look for that Barry Boomer demo. Tell you what, let me have a wee look. I'll move StreamYard over there. You sit over there. I love the fact that when you've got two monitors, you can literally just drag. You can drag one what do you call it? You can drag one tab onto one screen and one tab onto another one. What was it called again? Betty Boomer. What was it called? Barry Boomer. Barry Boomer C64 demo. Blimey. Now where can we download this? Hang on, let's see if we can. Right, wait a wee minute. Why don't we watch it together? What the hell is that? Trapped again, is that? Barry Boomer Trapped again, is that the name of the... Right, let me move you over there again. Download, right, let's unzip that. All right, Barry Boomer, right, well, tell you what, let's share the screen again. Like so, and what we'll do, there's one device. Let's just watch this together, eh? How's that? Hide that. Right, let's just sit back and enjoy. Hopefully you can hear that okay. Oh, I see they've used me in a green screen there. I should really put this out as a separate video because my highest rated video was when I looked at a C64 demo. It's got something like 20,000 views. I love that music. And look at the way the screen's shaking as well. That is just wicked. Sorry, just 2 ticks. I'm just going to, I didn't actually realise, Colin's saying I need to make sure I've set the SID tune or the SID chip. I must admit, I don't actually ever do any of these things, sound settings. Where did I set the SID chip about? SID settings, there we go. Ah, right, it was set to a different one. 6581, that's what I want to do. Is that it? 6581? I don't know how different that is. Evening, Silver Coin, how are you, buddy? Thanks for joining me tonight, appreciate it. Tell you what, right, sorry, I know this is turning into a bit of a, what do you call it, a SID show tonight. I want to just have a quick, that was based on the trap demo. Let me see if I can find, it'll be Tony Crowther, or is it under, it's under Wii Music? Let's have a look for trap. Tony Crowther, I don't see anything there called trap demo. Let's look under Ben Dalglish. Is trap the same? Is that the same one? Let's just play this. Yeah. As impressive as that other one was. Right, so I'm going to stop this for a second, and I'm going to play this. This should be, this should hopefully work. This is the trap demo, so we've got graphics here as well. You know what, I'm not going to piss about with that. Let's just get it going. Evening, Matt. How are you, mate? Hope you're feeling a bit better, buddy. Who says the C64 can only do browns? Yeah, I think that Sid tune is a wee bit more subtle than the other one. That other one was amazing as well. So, listen, I'm kind of. It's not a Sid show. It's a Friday Waffle supposed to be, right? Anyway, let's. I have no idea where I was. Right, I've probably right. Anyway to answer? Yeah, Monty on the Run was my favourite Sid tune. Now, apologies if I've missed any of the questions. Colin's asking, what is your favourite? Hang on, I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. What is your favourite C64 game? Super Pipeline 2. Oh, no, wait a minute. No. That would be my second favourite C64 game. My favourite C64 game would have to be Wizzball. Yeah, astonishing game. Amazing game. Dale's asking, as you get older, Al, have you thought about having a purple rinse? Rinse? R-I-N-C-E? Is that how you spell rinse? I don't think it is. For your beard? Absolutely, Dale. Yeah, I'm thinking a nice, I don't know, pink, purpley, very Billy Connolly-esque. I might think about that in a couple of years' time, Dale. Let's have a wee look. Highlanders saying Marillion with fish was the best Marillion. That's, you know what, that's an interesting thing you're saying, Highlander, because see, I would agree, but then you know what, I only listened to Marillion when it was fish. Now the fish years were probably only, I don't know when Marillion first started. I think he left Marillion, I don't know, I think Clutching at Straws was the last Fish Marillion album, I think. I'm sure it was. That came out in 1988, I think. So I think Fish must have left Marillion about 88, 89. And Marillion have still been going since 1989, 1990. So they've actually been going for about 20 years under, I don't even know the name of the guys. It's Steve, somebody or another, I don't know. And one of my friends, Panther UK, he's a big sort of rock fan, and he was saying that whilst he loves the Fish era of Marillion, he said that the Fish era is a tiny, tiny little section of Marillion. They've been going longer under this new guy. I'm going to say new guy. They've actually put out more albums under this other guy rather than Fish, and he said that in his opinion they're better now. That's the thing about a group. You always just associate a group with the singer. If a singer leaves, then they're no more. It's a bit like Queen. You know, Queen without Freddie Mercury is not Queen. You know, but yeah, I've not really listened to much. In fact, I've not really listened to any Marillion after Fish left, and I really should. Excuse me, a bit like AC/DC, you know. What do you call it? You're either Bon Scott or you're Brian Johnston. I'm a bit of both. They've obviously been going a lot longer under Brian Johnston. I probably do prefer Brian Johnson, but then the classic early stuff it's got to be Bon Scott. So each their own, I suppose. Right, apologies for not keeping up with the comments. Stephen's asking, how about Uridium? Did you play that? I did, Stephen. I'm not a massive fan of Uridium because it's so damn difficult. I mean, it's an astonishing game. Technically, I would probably say it's in my opinion, it's the most technically amazing game. Is it the best game? Not at all. But again, that's just my opinion. Ox has got an interesting thing here. Yeah, I wouldn't say that Sid is better than Paula, just different. Computer sound chips change with advances in synth technology, analog digital samples. That's the thing. I mean, the Amiga, had some really, really good sound hardware, and the stuff, the tunes that the Amiga put out were, they were almost commercial quality. Jesus and Ease, and they were absolutely astonishing. I remember I had a mate who was right into the kind of rave scene, and he had a PC and I had the Amiga, and I let him hear. I actually put Jesus and Ease on a tape for him, and it blew him away. He was absolutely gobsmacked at how good it was. So there's no question. I mean, it's a difficult one. If you were to put the SID chip alongside the Amiga and say what is the better machine, I think it would be hard pushed to argue that it's not the Amiga. I mean, the Amiga sound processors and chips are definitely more advanced. But what makes the SID chip or SID music so special is the fact that you're getting these absolutely extraordinary sounds coming out of something, a little beige box, something that came out, I don't know, 40 years ago. It was a cheap home computer, and this little box is making all these astonishing sounds. So I think that's what makes it so special. Is it's just incredible when you see what a C64 can do. The Amiga was a lot more expensive, and like I said, yeah, the hardware was more advanced, but it's the fact that the C64 shouldn't be doing what it's doing. So from that point of view, I think the SID music is more impressive. But, there's no question the Amiga stuff is impressive as well. Yeah, good point, Ox. Evening, Ian. How are you, buddy? Ian Batchelor, by the way. I think we've got quite a few Ians in tonight. Who did the Rick Dangerous music? Have I got Gamebase open? I'll tell you in a second. Oh, in fact, I have actually. Hang on. I'm not sure who did Rick Dangerous music. I don't know if anybody actually answered that question. Rick Dangerous, one of the most unfair games ever. Rick Dangerous. I can't read that. Dave Pridmore. Let's just listen to that. And I see. I actually do prefer the Amiga version of that. Actually, I've never actually played Rick Dangerous on the C64. Craig's saying there he saw Howard Jones 2 years ago. Howard Jones was it wasn't. He was the second person I saw. I saw Howard Jones back in blimey. It must have been 1987 in Edinburgh Playhouse. It was when he was. He had that wee guy that did the kind of baldy guy that did all the kind of the. He was like shackled to a chain. He did all the sort of, what the hell was it? I can't even remember the bloody name of the thing. But yeah, I do love Howard Jones. Ian's asking, controversial maybe, but does anyone prefer the AY sound of the Spectrum ST? Not me personally, Ian. I remember being gutted Hang on, I'm going to unplug my headphones for a sec. Again, yeah, I remember being gutted when I sold the C64 and got an ST, and the sound was completely pants. So yeah, I'm sure there's people. I'm sure ST owners, Spectrum owners probably do prefer that, but nah, I would always go for the SID music, I'm afraid. I wish there was some way of actually highlighting a question. Ian saying, what's that? Best example for me is Xenon music. AY is far better than the car crash Amiga music. Right, tell you what, let's put it to the test. Let us find. Let us look for. Let's have a look for the Amiga. Where is it? Right, Xenon. I don't know if it's going to play the music. That's ZenX. There's Xenon. There we go. Could not load system wrong. Oh, bugger off. What's it doing here? Is it going to load up? It's thinking about it. Oh, hang on. Start game. Tell you what, it helps if I share the screen, doesn't it? There we go. Hopefully you can hear that. Right, okay. So this is the Commodore Amiga one. Eventually, once it finishes loading. Come on, is it going to start playing some music? Right, why can't I hear that? There is no music. Have I got to press fire button? That's strange. Right, stuff that. That's weird. Why can't I hear that? Can you guys hear that? Out of curiosity. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, it doesn't appear to be working. Right, where's that question? Hang on. Oh, bloody hell. Right, that's not working. I don't know why. I'm really not getting much luck with sound and that kind of stuff at the moment, am I? That's weird. Right, remove that. Right, anyway, yeah, I can't really comment, Ian, but I would always go for the Amiga over the ST, but it's not to say that Xenon isn't actually better on the ST. Let's have a wee look. Right, what's Dell asking? If you could have anyone in the world, actor, actress, narrate your life in a film or TV program, who would it be? Now, I'm not going to go for Morgan Freeman. I'm going to go for Billy Connolly. Absolutely. Billy Connolly every day of the week. There you go. There's Dell turning around asking Mr. Ferguson, if you go to Arcade Club, what would be the first game you would be making a beeline for? Let's have a wee look. Right, Ian's saying here, I've had an agreement in principle from the wife to go down to arcade club on that day, staying with family in Blackpool. Oh, that's very good. That's very nice of you. Yeah, I'll let you guys sort it out. Listen, Ian, if you can get along and if you could pick up Steve, even better. Good stuff. What's that? Dale's asking Stephen, what was your most played game in the 1980s, and what was the most arcade? What was the most arcade game you played back in that time? What was the game I played most? I mean, I didn't really, because I didn't live near arcades. I never really got to play arcades. I mean, the only arcade I got to play was one in Bathgate, and it was when I was at college. Used to go to college every Wednesday, day release from work, and we would always go up to the arcade. Really small. What did they have? For a small arcade, they had some decent cabs. They had Sky Kid, which I always loathed with a passion. Never liked that. It always irritated me, the noise. And yet people seemed to gravitate towards it. It just annoyed me. Rolling Thunder, that's where I discovered Rolling Thunder. They had R-Type. They had Taken World Cup, the one where you sprain your wrist on the trackball. What else did they have? They also had a sit-down Star Wars, no less. But yeah, I can't really answer that one because, like I said, I didn't have any arcade games near me. Sorry, I'm just having to flick through. All right, there's Dale being cheeky about my purple beard. Right, Stephen's top game on the C64 is Impossible Mission. Now, I've made no bones about it, or I've never hidden it that I'm not a fan of Impossible Mission. Again, technically, it's stunning. I mean, the speech, that opening few seconds is just iconic. But I just think the game itself is pants. I think it's it's very, very basic. You're just jumping over platforms, jumping over robots. I mean, the sprites themselves look amazing. The animation looks amazing. The sound looks amazing. But I just think there's virtually bugger all game. There's not many people agree with me, but yeah, that's my opinion. Right, hang on. I'm trying to catch up. Ox is asking, have you seen that demo which runs straight from a 1541 drive without a C64? How does that work, Neil? I take it, is it one of these ones that vibrates the head? Because I remember talking about CompuNet, I was quite cheeky because I downloaded this demo and then I uploaded it and pretended that I'd actually programmed it, and it actually vibrated the head of a 1541 disk drive, and it was a row your boat uh, on it was row your boat gently down the stream or gently up the stream, whatever the hell it is, and it just basically probably completely trashed your disk drive. I remember playing it on my disk drive, and my disk drive was fine, but if you downloaded it from me and it burst your disk drive, I apologise now. Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, like I said, it's a pity there's not there's some way of actually flagging up questions, because I'm just kind of having to quickly scroll. Right, there's one from Trevor, a good question. My least favourite and favourite 8-bit software house. I'm just going to try and think about this 8-bit. I mean, I did like a lot of Lamasoft games, but then there was games by Lamasoft that I wasn't so keen on. Ocean, I wasn't a massive fan. Whilst Ocean put out a shitload of games, I wasn't a big fan, especially especially kind of like the big sellers from Ocean. They had all your stuff like RoboCop and the what do you call it? The not the Expendables, what the bloody the Untouchables, the Untouchables. They had all these big movie licenses, and I was never really a fan of these games because I wasn't a big movie fan, but I always felt that it was just little mini games, and yeah, I don't know, I wasn't a fan of them at all. What other games like games? Microgen. I liked a few of their games. Sensible Software. I mean, what did they put out? On the 8-bit, they didn't put out that many. They really came to the fore when they started producing for the Amiga. But I mean, obviously, Whizball was an amazing game. What else? There was Microprose Soccer. I would probably have to go for US Gold, but the early days, the real early days, in fact, it was almost before US Gold, when it was stuff like Blue Max, Fort Apocalypse, Drelbs. I don't even know if Drelbs came out under US Gold. It would have been, was it Synapse Software? I think it was. Yeah, the real early American software. I also did like the Imagine label when it came out with Ocean. They did all the arcade conversions like Green Beret, Hyper Sports, what else? Comic Bakery. Yeah, Kung Fu. Yeah, I really don't. I don't think they put a foot wrong. I think all the Imagine games on the C64, not the original Imagine games because they were shite, but yeah, the Ocean Imagine, they were stunning. I also loved all the early, what do you call it, Epix games. I mean, you had your summer games, yeah, summer games too, winter games, world games. I wasn't so keen on, well, that's an understatement. I wasn't a fan at all of California games. And then they brought out, was it like Games, the Summer Edition, and all that bollocks. So they kind of started to kind of fade away a wee bit. But I think I'd have to go for probably the early US Gold games or Imagine, I think. Yeah, anyway, Trevor, thank you very much. Let's have a look. Good night, Stephen. Take care, buddy. Thanks for joining me, Manny. Right, Dell's asking, have you been to another country and visited a site where a film was made, like running up the steps in Philadelphia from Rocky? No, I haven't, Dale. I haven't. Now I don't know. Is Kevin down the rabbit hole in tonight? I haven't seen him. He's done some. He's done some fantastic videos where he's actually visited locations of films, and he actually went to. It's where they filmed Empire Strikes Back, and it was the Endor Forest, and you've got the speed bike chase, and Kevin's actually been there. If Kevin is in, feel free to share the video, Kevin. He kind of overlaid. He let you see even some of the logs that were in the original scene. And Kevin visited there a couple of years ago, and he actually kind of videoed it. But no, have I? Well, actually, you know what? I'm actually going to a place where they filmed the Avengers, Marvel Avengers. What was that big one? Marvel's Avengers Infinity. They actually filmed a fight scene in Waverley Station. That's where I'm going to not tomorrow, on Monday. Edinburgh Waverley. It's a train station, and they actually filmed some of the Marvel Infinity film, which it's bizarre. I can't for the life of me think why. I mean, presumably it was the majority of it was filmed in America. I can't for the life of me figure out why an American company would want to come all the way to Scotland to film a wee bit in a train station in Scotland. Don't understand that. Saying that, Glasgow does get used for an awful lot of films. was it World War X? They filmed quite a lot of that. That was one with Brad Pitt and the zombies. They were also filming some scenes for the new Batman movie as well, and I think they also filmed. Did they not film some Top Gun as well? Possibly something like that. But I can't say. Well, I suppose I've been in Edinburgh quite a few times, so technically I've walked along a lot of train spotting landmarks. But yeah, there you go. Right, let's have a quick wee look. What's Mark saying? Marcus Klein does some new techniques with the SID, which makes it like using samples without the memory requirements. There's an excellent Blade Runner soundtrack he made. Yeah, that's an interesting point, Mark, because I had the video I was talking about a couple of weeks ago, about 10 minutes ago. It's can't remember what it's called, but it's my most watched video, which is a bit cheeky since I'm not actually doing anything. All I did was record this video. But this guy messaged me and he says, I don't believe that that's on the C64. That is not on the C64. I says, no, it is. He went, I don't believe you. And I says, well, trust me, it is. And he went, I don't believe you. So I've videoed it on my real C64, and then he put his hand up and says, you know what? I stand corrected. He says, that is astonishing. I think there was a bit of a Prodigy Firestart or something like that. And he basically said what Mark's saying there is he thinks some of these new not new, but some of these more current SID musicians, they're able to, I don't know, they're able to use different trickery to actually make the SID chip do even more amazing stuff. So yeah, incredible. Right, let's have a wee think. I'm going to have a drink of my delicious Strathrowan still. I'm sure all these fictitious Scottish streams are just made up. I can't even read that. Strathrowan water travels down through layers of volcanic rock. It's then, what's that? Gently drawn to the surface and bottled at source in the spectacular Scottish hills. Bullshit. It's obviously somebody in their bloody tap filling bottles. My arse, it's come from volcanic rock. What would your weapon of choice be if zombies attacked your house? Well, actually, that doesn't read like that, Dale. That says attached your house. If zombies attached my house, I'll assume you're meaning attacked. It wouldn't be a baseball bat. It wouldn't be an axe. I think it would have to be it would have. Yeah, you know what I would go for? I'd probably go for a Negan weapon of choice. It'd be a baseball bat with barbed wire wrapped around it. That would be a nice, satisfying thud when you kill the crap out of all these zombies. Matt's saying there, in his opinion, the Atari was the best for music, especially tracker tunes. What was that? You know what? I've never listened to a lot of demo music for the Atari, Matt. I mean, I'm a massive Atari fan. I've never actually heard that. I will need to kind of dig in and start having a wee look. Let's have a wee look. Oh, Shinobi saying, imagine Amiga's 4-channel digital sampler. Yeah, somebody was mentioning up there. Why didn't they put a SID chip into the Amiga? That would have been really nice. Evening, Ben. How are you, mate? Right, Ian Cullen's asking me, what game bases do you have? Just installed Spectrum game base and looking for recommendations for more. Bloody hell, Ian. I've been collecting these for years. Right, from the top, I have got Acorn Atom. I've got Acorn Mania, which I think is the BBC. I've got Adventure Vision, which is it's like these, I think it's these LCD games. I've got the Commodore Amiga. I've got the Amstrad. I've got the Apple II. I've got the Archimedes. I've got a system called the Astrocade, which I'm not familiar with. I've got the Atari 2600, the Atari 5200, Atari 7800, Atari 800, Atari ST, BBC, Commodore 128, ColecoVision, Enterprise, game GX 4000, which was that ill-fated, Amstrad console. Game Boy in Colour, C64, Electron, Lynx, Intellivision, Master System, Mega Drive, MSX1, MSX2, N64, Neo Geo Pocket, NES, Odyssey, Oric, Plus4, Sega Mega CD, Spectrum, SNES, TurboGrafx, Texas TI 994A, Vectrex, VIC-20, and the X68000. So yeah, there's one or two. Steve's asking here the most underrated C64 game and the most overrated C64 game. Well, you know what? I'm going to go for the easy one. I'm going to say the most overrated C64 game was Impossible Mission. Yeah, as a technical demo, it's astonishing. But you imagine you take away the speech, the animation, the sound effects, and you just have basic graphics. In other words, can you imagine playing Impossible Mission on a ZX81 or an Atari 2600? I don't know. I just don't like the game at all. I think that's probably one of the most overrated C64 games. One of the most underrated. Um, I'm going to kind of stick my neck out and say Pipeline because a lot of people, I don't know, it's an early game, and a lot of people, you know what, it's hard to say it's underrated because underrated would mean that 100 people have played it and 98 people have said it's rubbish. It's probably a lesser known game, and I would say, some of my favourite C64 games are ones which were very early. Fort Apocalypse is an absolute stonewall classic. It's a fantastic game. If you've never played Fort Apocalypse, go and play it. Do yourself a favour, though, play the Atari version because it's even nicer. I mean, the C64 one's great, but the scrolling on the Atari one leaves the C64 for dead. It was an early game. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think underrated C64 game. I don't know. As I say, there's a lot of games that weren't well known that a lot of people even now probably don't know about. Dino Eggs is another game, fantastic game. Yeah, I would probably go for these ones. So thank you very much, Colin, Steve, even. Excuse me. Smashing. Right, there's Oxus telling me there's been a new Atari 8-bit game base just released. Is that in the usual, is that in our secret place, Neil? Or is it available for download in the game base forum? If you can let me know, I will try and check that out after this, actually. Thank you very much for that. Bitmap Brother Games had amazing tracks. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Matt. But personally, I think that all the Bitmap Brother games. I know it's a controversial thing to say. I think their games were all about style and graphics over substance. You know, Xenon was a nice game. Xenon 2 was all right. Xenon 2 is actually not a very good shoot 'em up, but again, it looks lovely. It doesn't play particularly well. It's quite sluggish. I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan at all of Speedball. Yeah, which is quite surprising since I do like kind of sports games. What else? Magic Pockets. The less said about that, the better. Gods. Yeah, it's all right. It's no Manic Miner. Put it that way. Yeah, and I suppose talking about overrated games, and I don't like saying this because a couple of my friends actually worked for Thalamus Software, but I tend to think that most Thalamus games were overrated. I mean, Sanction had one of the best soundtracks that you'll get. The loading music for Sanction was just unbelievable. It was an amazing game, but the game itself isn't very good. It's got that. I don't know why they've gone for the kind of split view. Not a fan. Delta is very much a memory game. And what else? Quidex. Not a fan of it. Again, they all looked astonishing, but are they good games? I don't know. I'll let you decide yourself. God, one of my dogs is just pumped, and it is bloody stinking. Uh, Psygnosis, they were another one. They were a 16-bit company that it was all about graphics, and there was virtually bugger all gameplay. Oh shit! I think I've just where are we? Where are we? Where are we? I thought it was showing me as being near the bottom of the comments, and it's just bloody jumped. Where? Right, God, I'm miles away. Let's have a look. Hear it. All right, so that's weird. So you guys could hear. Xenon playing. That's weird. I'll really need to seriously figure out what's going on with this bloody setup of mine's. Speedball was my favourite bit of cartoon. Yeah. Right, okay, play the ST version. Right, hopefully you're going to hear this. If I can find my game base. There we go. Atari ST. Right, let me just share the screen again. Bink. Right, so I didn't hear the Amiga one, but this is the ST one. Hang on, Xenon. There we go. Right, play game. Now, hopefully, this is going to work. Right, I can't hear that. What the bloody hell's going on? This is weird. Why can't I hear that? I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can't. That is annoying me. That is damned weird. Can you guys hear that? No. Pete, can you guys hear that, by the way? You know, I can't even go down and have a look to see if you can hear it. Anyway, like you've hopefully heard it by now, so I'm gonna have to come out of that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this setup of mine. It's going a bit weird. Right, okay, Matt, good stuff. Yeah, listen, Matt, I'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. What to do, Matt, is jump into Discord and just mention that you're going to be going down. That's superb. Right, Ian's asking, have you ever trapped your skin? I assume you're talking about hand skin here, Ian. Yeah. Yes, I have actually. I remember playing. What do you call it? Playing Tekken World Cup in Bathgate Arcade. It was sometimes it was like a big bowling ball, and sometimes your skin would get trapped. Very, very nasty indeed. Yeah, we've done that one, Trevor. Yeah, favourite and least. Yeah, done that one. Yeah, thank you, Shinobi. Yeah, that the Vectrex over my shoulder. Love it. Love my Vectrex to bits. Really, really nice. Yeah, Paul Senior, Houston Consultants. They did put out a lot of good games. You know what? There were so many systems. It's very, very difficult. Right, wait a minute. Right. Yeah, I can see what you're doing here, Ian. What is your favourite movie license game and why is it Hudson Hawk? I know you're the only person that actually likes Hudson Hawk. Although, saying that, I know when I spoke to Gary Bracey, who was one of the big cheeses from Ocean, he actually said that Hudson Hawk was actually a really good game, and the film was diabolical, which it was. Although saying that, I've never actually seen it, so I'm not going to criticise a film I've never seen. But yeah, Ian, apparently Hudson Hawk is a good game. Movie licenses wise, like I said, I wasn't a fan of any of the Ocean movie licenses. I'm trying to think, was there any kind of movie license that I would say was a good game? No, I mean it was Ocean that brought all these out. I never really played. I never played RoboCop. I never played Untouchables. Certainly didn't play Highlander, which is bloody god awful. No, I can't. You know what? I can't. Sorry, and I can't really answer that. I never really played. I was never a fan of movie licenses at all. Right, well, this one looks like an interesting one. If you bought a crap game back in the 80s, if you could travel back in time, what would you tell your past self not to buy? Street Fighter, obviously, in the Commodore Amiga. Rambo, not Rambo. Cobra in the C64. That's a pile of crap. Anything else? I didn't. To be fair, I never bought many red herrings. I mean, most of the games that I bought, excuse me, I always read reviews, so I always knew I was going to be buying something decent. But no, there wasn't many. I can't say there was many 8-bit games that I bought, or any even like a 16-bit game that I bought, and I thought, no, it's pants. Because by the time the 16-bit machines came out, we had magazines, we had Amiga Power, we had the One, we had Ace. Yeah, we had all these different Amiga magazines, so there was really no excuse to buy a duff game. They were saying that, me and my mate, we decided to buy Street Fighter on the Amiga, and we were basically sold with the graphics. And to be fair, the graphics look all right. They do look all right. It's when it starts playing it that you realise it's pish. So no, I can't say there was many 8-bit games that I bought for the C64 that I thought was crap. Nah, not really, which was good. Right, just shooting down. Richard Shepherd Software. Oh my god! You know what? I'll need to do a live stream. I'll absolutely need to do a live stream, a Sunday live stream on Richard Shepherd Software. Try saying that when you're drunk. Paul loved California games. Really? Oh dearie me, I'm not. I think because I couldn't relate. I couldn't relate to going on a BMX. I couldn't relate to juggling a beanbag. I couldn't relate to throwing a frisbee, so I wasn't able to relate to any of these games. There again, playing the world games, I couldn't exactly relate to jumping off a cliff or doing log balancing either. But I don't know. Nah, I wasn't a fan of. I wasn't a fan at all. The thing I liked about all the early Epix games was it was all multicultural. There was all these different, that's how I learned a lot of the national anthems, was playing summer games in the C64 so much. So I wasn't a fan of California games at all. Right, what's Ian asking there? Apart from Berserk, what's your favourite game that you suck at the most? And I know somebody's going to say everyone. That's a really. I've never actually had a question like that. Yeah, what game are you absolutely You know what? It's a no-brainer. Defender, of course it is. I can get to. I can usually get to level 3, sometimes level 4 at Defender. It's so hard. Though saying that, I have got a lot better. I know, which is, I'm still shit, but it's one of these games to play and be good at Defender must be an amazing thing. So yeah, 1,000,000% Defender, Ian. Let's have another wee look. Matt is saying there wasn't some of the new Fast and Furious filmed around Edinburgh, possibly, Matt. Yeah, I'm basically looking at all the answers to the stuff I was talking about 20 minutes ago. Which game has destroyed the most joysticks? That's an interesting one, Trevor. I can honestly say I have never broken a joystick through overuse. I mean, some of the joysticks would eventually break, but people that constantly went on about Daley Thompson's decathlon wrecking joysticks, they were obviously just shit bloody joysticks because I love a joystick waggler, as you know. I used to bloody play Defender by Activision constantly, and yeah, I never had any problems with joysticks breaking. So I think it's more down to the fact that the joysticks that were breaking were a bit pish. uh, 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 uh. Right, listen, I'm just looking at the time. It's kind of getting on a bit. That's an hour and a half. So, listen, what I think I'm going to. Thank you, Kevin. What is that? Great, Sean. Have you heard of the Retro 10 times 5? I haven't, Kevin. What is that? What is that? I don't even know what that is. Dino Eggs. Yep, Ian Batchelor used to play Dino Eggs. It's an absolute Stonewall classic. Right, you know what? There's still loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of questions. Well, there's another one from Colin. What was the last game you completed? Oh, bloody hell! It would have to be Last of Us. I don't really play games to completion, but Last of Us on the PlayStation 3. I started playing it on the PlayStation 4, but I've not completed it. But I've completed that about 3 or 4 times. Fantastic. Older new systems. I can't be bothered putting the grind into finished games now. Just a quick 10 minutes will do. Yeah, it's funny. I was selling my PlayStation VR a couple of days ago, and a guy came to buy it, and we got talking about games, and I says I'm more into like classic arcade games. And he went, "Oh, how do you do that?" I says, "Oh, come here." So I took him into my kitchen and I showed him my 3 arcade machines, and he was like, "Wow, this is awesome." And I says, "I would much rather." I actually gave the guy a shot of Defender. I put a couple of credits in, gave him 2 shots of Defender, and he lasted all of like 10 seconds. He went, "Oh, this is awesome." And I says, "I would much rather have 5 games of Defender than a game of PlayStation, whatever it is, or PlayStation 4." So I'm totally with you, Colin. Da, da, da. Paul trapped his skin in the trackball in combat school and absolutely knacked, totally destroyed my game. I bet you it did. Right, listen, guys. I think I'm going to call it a day. I mean, there's probably so many questions. What I'm going to do is I will. Oh, there's one there. There's an interesting. Hang on. There's one. Oh no, sorry. That must have moved up a wee bit. One from 8-bit Steve. Oh, hang on a second. Where the hell did it go? Da, da, da. Yeah, what's Dale saying? When you sit in your retro room, do you wear? I'll tell you, Dale, your spelling is bloody atrocious. Do you wear retro clothes? Not at all. I don't. I'm not. Whilst I'm a massive fan of old systems, you'll never really see me in a Pac-Man T-shirt or a Space Invaders T-shirt. Um, my my ex sister-in-law used to always think that I loved because I play video games that I'm into things like Star Trek and Space Invaders, and she would buy me all these T-shirts and that, and I never wear them. And Trevor saying, which retro community do you find the best? Well, I mean, I think this little channel is. I'm not going to say it's the best. I mean, that's the only community I'm kind of part of. But I think I'm very, very lucky. I think suffice to say, there's a group of people that all kind of take part in this wee community, and it's a fantastic thing. It really, really is. We're not a inclusive community. Everyone's welcome, but you know, it's good fun every Sunday. I play games badly, and everybody. I mean, it's wonderful when I'm sitting in the kind of behind the curtain with a little intro coming on, the little countdown, and I can see everybody all coming in. It's like shuffling into the theatre, and they're all talking. Oh, how you doing? And it's all very nice, you know. And some people have said to me in the past it's a clique. It's far from a clique, not at all. A clique to me is a group of people who they stick to themselves. They don't let other people in. And this Mainmeister thing is nothing like that at all. Not at all. You know what I mean? Everybody's welcome. So yeah, so I tend to think the retro community genuinely is quite a friendly community. But you know what? I'm sure people who make models or collect cars, they probably say the same thing. But no, I think this little channel is wonderful. I really do. So listen, I think it's time. I want to let you guys have a bit of when you sit in your retro room, do you read retro magazines full of retro ladies? Absolutely. Yeah. Right, listen, guys, I'm going to get going. Apologies for not answering any questions from 2 weeks waffles. I will endeavour to do. I won't do a live Friday waffle, not next Friday, but the Friday after. I'll just go back to normal waffle. There won't be any waffle this Friday next week because I'm in London. Yeah, and there should be a Sunday stream next Sunday, but this coming Sunday, not tomorrow, but the next day. I can't remember what time I said it was. It was either 6 till 9 or 7 till 9, whatever. It might have been 7 till 9. I can't remember. I will be along on Sunday night for a normal live stream, playing games across any systems. If I've got the game, you nominate it and I'll play it. And it will be an extended one since I don't have work on Monday. I'm quite happy to let it run on for an hour or so. We'll see how we get on. So, and listen, guys, I just want to finish off and say thank you very, very much to every single person who has watched tonight. You've been absolutely bloody awesome, and I've been Mainmeister. Till next time, guys, take it easy.